Are the Phoenix Suns doomed to fail? I mean, I'm already seeing some major issues with this team, and I'm honestly kind of worried about this team. And we made a short about this last night, talking about it kind of quickly, but I wanted to talk a little more in depth about this team and its problems. And I'm also kind of aggravated because I forget, there was some former NBA player that tweeted out yesterday, and it went viral, that KD should be freed from the Suns and he doesn't deserve this. Well, that's bullshit. I don't want to hear ever again Kevin Durant play the victim card. And this coming from an area. This is coming from a guy who's been a massive KD fan. You know, I'm a Warriors fan. I'm always going to like KD for what he did for our team. However, what happened in Brooklyn, I think, is a complete embarrassment for not only his legacy, but for the league, what happened in Brooklyn, because it kind of showed what happens when you pigeonhole your entire organization to one star and cater to their every need. And he still gave a giant middle finger to the Brooklyn Nets. They hired the coach he wanted. They fired the coach. They got another coach that he wanted. They brought in every single star. Every single player that was brought into the Brooklyn Nets organization had to be okayed by Kevin Durant. Okay? The James Harden trade had to get approved by Kevin Durant. Everything was catered through, if this makes Katie happy, we're going to do it. And guess what? He still wanted out. He still left the team. And I'm kind of worried now that we're seeing a similar situation play out here in Phoenix, where we could see the same exact recipe happen with this team that happened with the Brooklyn Nets. You bring in these big three stars. And this was kind of my concern when they brought in Bradley Beal. It was like, yeah, on paper it looks good because you have some big names here. But we just saw this play on Brooklyn. We know what happens, you know, and especially with injury-prone players, like we know Bradley Beal is, like we know Kevin Durant is. Devin Booker, I wouldn't really necessarily call him injury-prone, but he has missed 9 games this season already. And Bradley Beal's only played in 6 games in this entire year. I think the big three's only played like 1 or 2 games together as all 3 of them on the court, which is shameful. So I just don't know. I'm frustrated in that now we're starting to see KD being called a victim here again with that guy, that moron tweeting that he doesn't deserve this. Like, this is his team. He's getting everything catered to him. I don't want to hear that. As for the team, like, what's wrong? Well, it's the injuries. We saw this in Brooklyn. They could never stay healthy. They could never keep their big three together. I think the big three in Brooklyn played a total of 16 games together over their tenure. And it clearly led to issues in terms of chemistry, and they were just not really good whenever they were just rotating the lineup. And you're seeing the exact thing happen here with Phoenix, where you sacrifice a lot of your depth and your draft capital to bring in these big names. And then whenever one of them gets hurt, you don't really have enough talent on the team to really make up for the guy that's injured. And right now, like I said, Bradley Beal being gone, it's reflecting on this team now that he's clearly missed, because whenever he was playing, he looked good in a couple games, especially that play-in game against the Lakers. I know the Suns lost that game, but the first half, Bradley Beal was incredible in that game. And we know how good Devin Booker and KD are, so it's just frustrating because we know that they can be really good. But they should have known better. The Phoenix Suns should have known better with what happened with Brooklyn. And now they're 14 and 15, you know? They're the 11th seed right now, which is shameful, given the fact that you have Kevin Durant, who I still consider to be a top 5 player in the world. You have that guy on your team. Devin Booker, many consider him to be like top 10 or borderline top 10 player in the world. The fact you have that level of talent on your team and you're the 11th seed is extremely frustrating. You've had the easiest schedule. I feel like this team just suffers from poor construction too. Like, even if they were fully healthy, outside of the big three, it's like, what is this team? Like, the fact that Devin Booker is playing the point guard, I think is disgusting. And I'm not denying that Devin Booker has grown as a passer. He definitely has, and I've given him credit for that. But to play him as the full-time point guard is disgraceful, because Devin Booker is a pure bona fide scorer. So to play him in the point guard role, that fit for me is just disgusting. I never liked that. I was pushing back on that even before they traded for Bradley Beal. Nurkic, I don't even know what Nurkic provides at this point in time. Like, he's okay, but I don't think he should be a starting center in the NBA. The bench is extremely thin with kind of this mishmash of role players, like 85-year-old Eric Gordon, Watanabe, who's extremely streaky. Like, there's no reliable punch off of the bench. So that's overall just kind of my frustrations with this team. The injuries, the lack of fit, the fact that you're already hearing this bullshit with KD and his victim narrative. Not that he started it, but it's saying like he is... It was reported that his frustration is like being heard within the organization, which I don't want to hear, because you got all your shots in Brooklyn, you failed. You got every call here in Phoenix, you failed. You're failing right now. So that's just kind of my take on the whole Suns thing. I know I just kind of rambled around here, but it's just a frustrating situation. And Suns fans, I do feel bad for you, because not that long ago, it looked like you had one of the brightest futures in the league, and it could quickly implode like we did see happen in Brooklyn. You know, whenever Brooklyn's Big Three formed, I thought they were going to run the league for the next 5 years. And under 2 years later, all members of the Big Three were off the team. And now we're only, a third of the way into this NBA season. We're already hearing chatter that Kevin Durant should leave the Suns. So I don't know what to do anymore. So yeah, if you're a Suns fan, please let us know. You can probably provide more specifics, because I don't watch every Suns game. So you could probably provide more detail in the comments as to what the real issue is with this team. Do you guys like Frank Vogel as a coach? Do you like the fit? What's the problem? So if you made it this far, thanks for listening. Really appreciate you listening to me ramble. That's been the Steel City Sports Show, and please like and subscribe.